Rock and rolling. Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Matt Black. I want to give you a quick introduction to the new version of MidiVolve, which is Coldcut's arpeggiator on steroids, we call it. And this is the new version of our Max for Life plugin with some new functions and a whole bunch of new instruments to add to the original set, instruments programmed by my man Burr in Johannesburg, respect. First one's the Adungu. Nice little riff there, but I'm going to play a new one in. We're in arpeggio mode, so all I have to do is hit some keys on the push and we get a new arpeggio. Fairly standard though. So let's mess with the Euclidean fill. Let's turn it down from 16 to 9, say, and hit those notes again. A rather more interesting rhythm out of the same notes. Missing some of them out, making space. Let's move on to the first of the new functions. It's called hold. So when hold is on by default, sequence continues playing. If I turn it off, sequences will only play whilst I hold them down. And whilst I'm holding them down, I can actually let some go and add some new notes. And the arpeggio will dynamically update. Let's put hold on to hold that one there. And look at the next new function. It's called dynamics. If you look at the velocity tab here, you can see that all the notes have the same velocity, which is a bit boring. So we've added in a new automatic way to add some variation to those. Let's switch dynamics to auto and hit some notes again. And now you can hear quite distinctly and see as well from these velocity envelopes that each note has now got a different velocity. This also applies to the map data. Map data is a funky way to control some external controls. Here map 2, as we can see, is patched to FM volume, which is making some of the notes have a sort of buzzy effect. Let me zero that out and then just dial it in for certain of the notes. Nice. Okay, let's move on to one of the new instruments, shall we? Buchla drum, sounds good. Electric Boogie Eel is the name of the preset, sounds pretty funky. 32 samples in this rack, my friends. Lovingly sampled from a fat Buchla modular, and it never goes out of tune. Let's turn the brake off for a second so we can better hear the electronic rhythm. Pretty decent. And let's turn again fill down to, let's say 11, and turn dynamics onto auto and turn hold off so I can play our own. Let's hold that. And let's double up the length of that pattern that we've just made and unfold this section of MidiVolve which contains these randomization controls here. We love a bit of controlled randomization, and these control how much pitch, velocity, duration and other parameters get altered when MidiVolve evolves this data, which you can do simply by pressing this nice big blue button. Let's try that. And another evolve, so you continuously get variations. You can even set it to do it automatically every so many bars. Let's take a look at another new instrument. What have we got here? Harold. Could this by any chance be related to a famous inventor of a rather wonderful electric piano? Let's have a listen. This one's called Roy's Air 2. I wonder what that could be. Nice. And this ensemble contains Ableton chord module here, so that's taking the single notes from MidiVolve and translating them into chords, and those chords themselves are being varied by MidiVolve using map 1 and 2 to change the shift here, which is the different notes, how they get shifted to form the chord. We're in through modes now for a change, so that means that I can play on top for a bit of jazz funk. Boon conform to scale is for non-musicians such as myself, it has to be said. We can also transpose, turn to transpose mode. I think this one should take us up 5 semitones. Let's get some more key changes happening in our music, shall we peeps? It makes it a bit more interesting and organic. And back. Okay, I'll just run through some of the other instruments. We've got the Adungu, the Buchla, the Ceaseless, France, Harold, Inflict, VHS dub synth, and water percussion. And those are just the new instruments in this new version of MidiVolve. In the original version, also included, you get another, I think it's 12 instruments, all with funky presets, and you are good to go to make some sounds, including lots of breakbeat stuff, pretty decent. Right now I'm going to sort of break this down and gently use the density nudge down to reduce the number of notes until we just got a couple left, and there I will bid you adieu. Wish you lots of fun and funk with MidiVolve and your journeys into sound. Peace.